Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Yeah.
Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this movement up back in my can. But to make it round the world when it holds in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. The Popcorn World.
Man, our partners at BetOnline continue to be the #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Hey, this everybody, it's Lloyd Spence, and listen, you can find all the latest sports developments, including updated odds on the NBA playoffs, fights, and even next season's futures. And don't forget that the Major League Baseball is back as well. Who are you picking to win the World Series? Man, I got the Braves, man. I feel like they're going back to back. Because BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas, casino, and poker games. It's super easy to get started. So head on to the website today and use your mobile device to join and use your promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Go on over to BetOnline. It's where the game starts, and tell them the Noisemaker Show. You're now listening to the Brothers of the Five. At shooting guard, it's your boy, Killer Cam. At small forward, it's Reggie Love. At point guard, Steve Major. At power forward, Al B. And at center, Mr. Noise, Lloyd Spence. And now, the Brothers of the Five.
Add one more plus me into the
Yes, sir. What a time to be alive, they say. It's good, man. Sports is colliding all over the place. Baseball, golf, basketball, NBA playoffs. I mean, geez, what a time to be alive. Are y'all excited? I mean, I'm excited.
Very excited.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. Definitely.
To go old school, man, it's fantastic. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely is.
Good to see. What is this you got on? This guy. Look at this guy.
What, man?
Draped in all things Warriors tonight.
I wonder how he really feels since he's going against his other team that he used to cheer for.
What you mean?
Is there any level of conflict in your heart at all, or no?
No.
Wow, that's cold blooded right there.
Wow,
that was a bad breakup right there. That's a bad breakup. When you don't feel nothing for the person you broke up with, nothing.
Nah.
Wow, that's a bad breakup. That's a bad breakup. But we press on, nevertheless. Jesse, how you feeling tonight, brother? You good? All right. He'll be with us un momento. But man, I'm excited. How about you, Cam? How you feeling tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm on top of the world right now. I'm good.
Do you have a quick nephew update for us?
He's having a good time doing what he do best, you know.
OTAs now, right?
Yes, sir.
Man, and you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I was so busy Saturday, completely forgot. Completely woke up Sunday morning like, I was supposed to be somewhere yesterday.
Yeah.
It was that kind of busy. It's like, I'm supposed to be somewhere. Where was I supposed to be at? And then it hit me. So I owe you one.
It's all good.
I owe you one. We got this. It's gonna be a long summer. Long summer. We're gonna have some time. So
Exactly.
but it's good. It's good that everybody made it tonight, man. We got a fun show tonight. We almost got it. Just full disclosure to the Five Nation that comes in now and watches it later. We almost got into this discussion on the group chat, and it was Cam that stopped us. Cam was like, "Oh, just stop right there. I know we got a lot to say, so we just gonna stop right here, and then we'll move on." So we're gonna start where we stopped on our group chat, which is question number 1. Who was the biggest disappointment from this past weekend, the Suns or the Bucks? And before we get into deciding that, we got to talk about both games. So where do we start with the Bucks, maybe? Because that's kind of the easy one. If I'm being honest, I wasn't that disappointed with the Bucks' effort. I thought the Bucks did everything they could do with what they had, and Giannis did everything that he could do. That dude was tired. He was so. By the time when Giannis is passing up dunks for layups, and then he's missing those layups, that dude is tired. He ain't got nothing left. Thank you for sharing that with us, Jeff.
I don't think he cared for this Giannis talk right now.
Well, listen, it's the truth though. He had nothing left. And the Celtics did what you're supposed to do with a wounded dog.
Yeah, especially with Middleton being out, and you're man down, and Giannis had to do everything humanly possible to try to keep him in there. So I definitely think the Suns were my vote on this one.
You made decisions in the offseason. You made a decision not to bring back what's his name to play for the
PJ Tucker.
You made that decision, and it hurt. Now you replaced PJ Tucker with Grayson Allen, basically,
and that's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
That's not the same thing at all.
And then, of course, Middleton going down. Of course, obviously that doesn't help at all.
Right.
I think Holiday left it all out there.
And that's not to say, to your point, Cam, that having Middleton, you still wouldn't have felt the effects of not having PJ Tucker. You still probably could have felt that, because I think they did feel that. There was a loss of defensive identity without Tucker, for sure.
Yes, absolutely,
for sure.
And now I show and sit on here one second more, and we give credit to that Boston defense and those adjustments that the Celtics made. I'm not going to just cripple because Boston was missing people too all throughout the series too. So I'm definitely not going to put it on that.
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell you this: the better team won. I didn't say the better players won, but the better team won.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I agree with that. And that's the one thing about a 7-game series. The better team is going to win in the 7-game series.
90% of the time they are. Absolutely.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The better team, which brings us to the Suns and the Mavs. Let me just start with one word and one word only. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. They definitely caught fire.
Well, I'm feeling pretty good over here.
Here it goes.
I have 3 words for you.
Here
it goes. Those 3 words for me?
Here it goes.
Can somebody say those 3 words for me, please?
I don't know what the 3 words are. Chris Paul sucks.
CP3.
Did I? Oh, those are words. Those
are words, brother. Those are words. I've been waiting on you for a whole year, CP3.
Cam, are you related to Pat Beverly?
No.
I was going to say, you giving Big Pat Bev energy tonight.
Because CP3 gets too much credit for what he do. That's why.
So you are giving Big Pat Bev energy tonight.
No. Because remember, Pat Beverly just said this. I talked to y'all about this last year.
Yeah, you've been saying it now. We ain't gonna take that from you. You've been saying it. Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question.
It was up 2-0, correct?
2-0.
Yeah, that is the biggest disappointment. Then the team that went to the NBA Finals, who got better, who was the number 1 seed, was up 2-0, and they choked.
Oh, you're using the C word?
That's what I'm using. I'm using the C word. Hashtag not a gang member. I'm using the C word. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be the number 1 seed, to be best record in the NBA, to have all your players, no injury things, and you to be up 2-0 and still lose. Yeah, you got to give it to them.
I don't know. I only use the C word. That's the
Now,
strong link. Although I don't have an explanation for what happened on that game.
now here go the same thing though.
I,
Who were
that
the
was,
2 best defensive teams in the league this year?
yeah. It was supposedly Phoenix and
No.
Phoenix wasn't the best defensive team. Oh, they got surpassed by
The Mavs
Dallas and
Boston.
the Celtics. Right, that's true.
So
At one time, Phoenix was considered
absolutely, but you're seeing a recipe for winning right now.
Yeah.
Just stick in there and play defense and play your offense. Listen, these should be the coaches of the year right here. Both of them. I mean, geez. Like they make adjustments, Lloyd. These guys are making adjustments, man.
They really did.
Yeah.
But I gotta say this though. There isn't a 40-point adjustment.
Oh no.
There's no such thing as a 40-point adjustment. Like to get beat by 46 points, that's not an adjustment. Yeah. That other team has to do a lot of things wrong. But here's what we said though. We said if Dallas can pick that game up that they had played in Dallas and bring it back to Phoenix at some point, Phoenix would be in a lot of trouble. Now, we didn't know they'd be in 46-point trouble, but man, it's hard for me to say a team choked, but God, dog, 46 points.
Listen to this, what the guys had at the half. Chris Paul had 1 point at half. Devin Booker had 2. Chris Paul had 1 point at the half.
God?
Yes.
Oh.
Devin Booker had 2 points at the half.
We comparing him to Kobe?
Come on. He earned all this.
Aiden had 3 points at half.
I'm a number 1 draft pick. Got picked over Luka Doncic.
Bridges had 4 points at the half.
So Bridges led all scoring.
Yeah, and Crowder had 5 points. So,
oh my goodness!
Yeah,
wow,
that's a recipe for disaster.
And Luka had 27.
He had their team total points at half.
Exactly. That's a recipe for disaster.
Can we say that shouts out to the Los Angeles Lakers for picking Frank Vogel over Jason Kidd, by the way.
Yeah, that seems like a tremendous mistake right now. We blew that play, didn't we? I really don't know what I'm supposed to say about the Suns because the reality is I've never seen that before. I've never seen a team.
Yes, you have.
No, I've never seen a team
yes,
lay
you
down.
have.
Like
no.
Yes,
on the biggest stage, you saw that 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yes, you did. In the bubble when we had Miami down there by 50. That's the biggest stage, bro.
I disagree, and I'm gonna tell you only for this reason.
NBA Finals.
I hear you, but only for this reason. I'm disagreeing for this reason. Miami in that series was never considered the favorite. They were never. They didn't have a 64-win season. They didn't have they hadn't just left the finals the previous year, and then brought everybody back. There was nobody. Listen, a lot of times we'll say nobody picked us, and that's not really true. Somebody picked you, but you just the majority of people didn't pick you. This is one of the few times you can honestly say nobody picked the Mavs to win this series. 0 people picked it. And on paper, them losing to the Mavs was hard enough to deal with. But them being blown out in a game, 1 point, the guy that everybody's been saying, the guy who just had 14 out of 14 in the New Orleans series, the guy who was, like they said, the point guy, which, by the way, I'm wildly uncomfortable with that title because I don't. He's a great point guard, a god.
He's
Listen,
a point fraud.
Well, I see him. I see his godlike qualities in the same way I saw Loki in the original Avengers when the Hulk picked him up and slammed him all around the room. Some puny god. Like, what are we talking about right now? That's why I would say there's a slight difference there because nobody saw this coming. Like, everybody had them penciled into the Western Conference Finals at minimum. And no, it did not happen, and it did not happen in spectacular fashion. But who? Well, we'll get to that question. And that question comes up here in a minute. But the disappointment has to be the Suns. It has to be. I mean, I don't know how you. Not even sure how we.
Yeah, and Aiden playing 17 minutes, and Monty Williams saying that there was some internal going on.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, because there reports are starting to come out now that I think Lil Wayne went on Skip and Shannon and said something about he saw them arguing on the sideline or something. And usually when somebody gives a short answer like it's eternal, that's usually what happens. There's something that happened, a disagreement or whatever. Do y'all have a problem with him benching Aiden?
I do, yeah.
In that moment?
I do.
If you're trying to win, you don't bench one of your most important players. Yeah.
Is there an issue that could be raised? You're the coach of whatever team is in that position. Is there an issue in your mind or or something that a player could say to you in your mind that is so bad in that moment that you would bench him?
Listen, he's a number 1 overall pick. He's your anchor down low. It's not the time to prove nothing to me. Ask Jesse if he's okay with his coach benching Butler in the Super Bowl. Like, you don't do that. You learn the lesson another kind of way. I don't get that. That's a strike on Monty. Unless there's something else that comes out that was like, oh, okay, he had to. Like, I gotta keep the entire team intact versus what this one guy doing.
No, but that was the question. That was the question. Is there anything that could have happened that justifies what Monty Williams did?
Is it worth that though, Jesse? At the end, would you like?
I'm not saying that. That's only for Monty Williams to be able to make that decision,
right?
Because he's the one that had to make the call. He's got to live with the consequences, right? Decisions have consequences, but it's so yes, I think it's possible there are things that could have been said or things that could have happened, right? That he had to take action. I also think this could have been 6 months and we just haven't heard about it because he's such a great coach and that organization has had the spotlight on some other things over the last year and stuff like that.
And winning masks a lot of stuff, like you said.
Winning solves everything too.
Everything,
right?
yeah.
So when you're the number 1 seed by 30 games, like you're having a great year, and so maybe some stuff just hasn't come out yet. So I think it is possible. I think it would be. I mean, I don't know what he'd have to do. I mean, it would have to be like, I've got your wife in the back. If you don't play me 15 more minutes, I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Or
something crazy, like really crazy.
He got a text message saying, "Homeboy bet on the game" or something like that. You know, like there's something that could have happened. So I'm not saying he's wrong. He's also the coach of the year. We've praised him every single show except for this one call. Right. So it's like, in that kind of regard, like I'm leaning with. Plus, Monty Williams isn't Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is an asshole. He always has been, right? He's going to go to an extreme just to prove a point. A Super Bowl, okay. Like I wanted to win it, but I proved my point. So I'm, you know what I mean? So like that.
Monty doesn't feel like that kind of guy.
I don't think he comes across like that, right? So, maybe we all look back on it and say it wasn't the right decision at the end of the day. I don't know that it would have cost him anything. It's not like DeAndre was going to go out there and put up 50.
No,
but
they were going to lose anyway.
I mean, at that point, right? Like, because he did play like 16, 17 minutes, right?
He played 17 total, and he went out after his third foul
in the second
period, which he got relatively early. Like it happened. Like the 3 fouls happened relatively quickly. Like they were bang, bang, bang.
But it was over early.
Right? They were down a lot.
So like you get to 3 minutes into the second quarter and you're down by 20, right? And it just kept getting bigger. Maybe it was
Is it
easy for him to
fixable?
prove his point. You know what
Is
I
it
mean? Because
fixable?
maybe there wasn't anything on the line.
Is this
Well,
fixable? Because he's a free agent.
That's what I was about to say. He's a free agent, so this, I mean, they were gonna have to fix it really quickly because
Is it fixable? That's the question. Is it fixable?
I'm sure, a conversation could be had and it could be fixable. But at that point, is he just wanting to cut his losses and then just go to another squad?
Well, that's what I'm asking about fixable.
I don't
because-
think it's fixable.
Really.
No, because first of all, you got manhandled by Giannis last year, and then this year you
Which is why they didn't pay you.
and this year you pooped out. So you may see a Aiden Rudy Gobert trade stupid up or something like that.
Your magic trades. Let's put your ball away. Listen,
Or maybe Robert Williams, huh?
no, I'll keep. I'm good. But what about? I just lost my thought. What did you say, Lloyd?
Well, the question is it fixable?
Is it
And I
fixable?
said-
Could we be dealing with a Simmons situation?
Well, I
You think about how the 76ers ended that series, right?
yeah.
And then all the blame and the public stuff came out about Simmons, and then it was
No way,
all,
Jesse. No way, Jesse. This is on CP3 and company. This is on CP3 and company. This is not. You can't put Aiden on it. They brought point guard in for this right here for this reason alone.
Let's stay there for a second. We'll get back to Aiden here in a minute, but let's stay there for a second. Is this really CP3's fault? Because one of the things that Barkley said, which I completely agree with, this nigga 37.
I understand that.
He's 37. So
It's
should we be
LeBron's
leaning
fault,
on a
ain't it?
37-year-old to pull us through the fire?
It's LeBron's fault when he lose. Yeah.
Yeah. And CP3 claims he had a quad injury, so he gets hurt every year. So
I knew
Well, he didn't claim it so much as Mikal Bridges claimed it for everybody.
No, not Mikal.
Got
The
a
other
quad, and this person now got an ankle. and this got a toe.
that was
Was that? No, it was Cam. It was Cam.
Payne.
Cam
Cam Payne.
Payne. Yeah.
I personally, I don't want to hear about that because everybody got something right now.
Exactly.
So I don't want to hear about that.
Exactly.
I'm gonna tell you something. CP3's drop was as shocking to me as the 46-point loss. Because it was like the day he turned 37, he turned 37. And it was like he went from I still got some life in these legs. I still got it was like he turned 37 and Jason Kidd said, "Wait a minute. He's 37. I got to play it for a 37-year-old." And it was the worst birthday ever. Like it has just been downhill ever since.
Can I ask you a question? Who did they play in the first round?
They played the New Orleans Pelicans.
And what did you say after that first game in the first round?
What did I say?
Yep.
I don't
About
remember.
CP3. Somebody was D'ing him up in his business. You say, man, I think
yeah.
CP3. You said, man, I think they're gonna wear CP3 down.
Well, hey, listen.
Yeah.
We're all ex-athletes on this group. We all understand what it means to get old. And at some point, the body just don't do what you want it to do. Like in your mind, you still can do all of those things. But the reality is your body's like, nah.
Listen,
We're good.
it's on CP3, it's on Devin Booker, it's on Monty Williams, it's on Phoenix as an organization. Now, let me take some off of them. Let me take some off of CP3. Let me take some off of them. The two best players in playoffs in the basketball right now is Luka and Tatum, and they proving it. So I want to take a little bit off and say these guys are putting a lot of pressure on the defense, man. There is no answer. Listen, there is no answer. I saw Tatum had the worst playoff game ever. Live, me and Jesse did. He had 6 points going into the fourth quarter. And at the same time, I'm telling Jesse 4 minutes ago in the game, I said, it's Tatum time, though. I know it. Listen, this is putting a lot of pressure on the defenses and making them scramble and doing things that they don't normally do. And it was just, I think the better team won in both cases at the end of the day.
So you go ahead, Jess. Go ahead.
I was just going to clarify the Ayton thing. So he came out with 3 minutes left in the second quarter, right? But they were down 19. By the end of the half, they didn't put him back in, 3 fouls, right? By the end of the half, they're down 30. Okay? Ayton starts the third quarter. Ayton starts.
Oh, he did come in. Okay.
Starts the third quarter. He plays until 8:26 left in the third quarter, right? And they were down 38. It was 70-32 when Ayton left the game. So
Wait a minute, wait.
38 points with 8 minutes left in the third, and Ayton doesn't go back in the game. That's probably not. It's not a massive surprise.
Okay, so pause there because you're leaving out a considerable point in the narrative, which is important. His total was 17 minutes. Is that a relatively even split? Is that what you're saying? Like he played?
No, I'm saying he played 8 minutes. Like let's call it 8 minutes in the first quarter, right? Because most players get a little bit of break there, come back in the second quarter, right? A couple minutes into the second quarter, and then they play the rest of that, right? So you're talking about a player that plays 36 minutes a game, only plays 9 minutes a quarter, right? 9 out of the 12. So, but he got pulled early in the second quarter. He didn't get to finish the last 4 minutes of his 9 or 8 or 9 minutes in that quarter because he had 3 fouls. Right.
Okay.
And they went from being down 19 to being down 30 over that 4 minute stretch.
Right.
He did come back at the beginning of the third. So you figure with those extra 4 minutes, right? He's still in the ballpark of playing, because he played a total of 17 minus the 3 he played in the third. That's 14 minutes in the first half. Plus he would have had another 4 without foul trouble.
So
right?
32 minutes.
Right. So 32, 33 minutes. So he comes back in the beginning of the third, and it was 19 when he went out. It was 30 when he came back, and it was 38 when he went out with 4 minutes left 4 minutes into the third. I don't know how much of that was like Ayton did something wrong versus.
There we go. Yeah.
No, he did something wrong. That's not. I mean, I appreciate you.
Down 38 and come out of the game.
You're not losing nothing by taking them out the game.
Didn't Doc get crushed for people getting hurt when they were up 35 points?
Listen, I agree, but here's the problem with the theory. Don't go to the press conference and say internal then. And don't be short with the reporter when he asks the question.
But he can't go to the press conference and say, well, with 8 minutes left in the third, we're going to lose anyway.
Right.
But he could have gone to the press conference and said, no, there was nothing. Listen, we just made a decision. He could have softened the presentation. It doesn't have to be
quite for a spark.
Right.
That's fine. I'm just saying all the stuff about what did he do, and there might be some, and like, could he have done
he did something, Jesse. He absolutely did something.
But
there's no doubt in my mind. I've been doing this too long. He did something.
But he got benched when they were down 38 points halfway through the third.
I don't disagree with that. But guess what happened? Guess what happened when they were down 38 points? Chris Paul still played for a little while in the fourth quarter. So did Devin Booker. So did all these other people who wanted to try to rally us back to a win. The fact that you don't play Ayton says you're pissed. Whatever he did.
That's not a Malcolm Butler situation. Like they didn't not play Ayton. Ayton didn't not start in the 7th game of the NBA championship.
I get that.
It wasn't that bad, obviously, but it was but it is game 7, and if you don't win, you don't go on.
They were down 38, Lloyd.
Listen, I don't disagree with that part, but I'm saying you started everybody else in the fourth quarter. Why wouldn't you bring out the entire 5? That's your best chance to win. But that brings us to this question. What are they going to do now? Do you pay 37-year-old Chris Paul $47 million? Didn't he do $47 or $48 million?
Something like that. And then you got to decide on Booker, who's probably going to get the Supermax if he makes it.
No, he's already signed. I think he's signed through 25.
No, if he gets the All NBA, he'll be eligible for the 211 Supermax.
Yeah, but you don't pay that now. You don't have to pay that right now. You chill out.
He's under contract. He's already.
Yeah, I got time.
Well, and then you got
I got to solve this CP3 thing, and I got to figure out what I'm going to do. I can't go into next season with an aging 37, soon to be 38-year-old point guard that can be bullied. Here's the number one thing that came out of this series: the blueprint. Yeah. You don't think everybody's going to try to bully him like that, or they're going to play him like New Orleans played him going forward?
See, I think you can go in there with a CP3 like that if Devin Booker plays the way he's supposed to play.
Yeah. Yeah, he only scored 11 points.
I think it was a combination of everybody with a meltdown.
It's unacceptable for him to be the guy and score 11 points. You gotta.
But do you want to do that at 38 and 48
Chris Paul's
million?
under contract next year.
Right, no. But don't you gotta come to
He's under
holler?
contract to 2025.
He
Don't
signed
you
a
gotta
4-year
holler at
deal.
him though and say, hey man,
He'll be
remember
58
when
years
we
old.
pay you that 48 million? Is there any way?
It's 28 next year, 31.
Oh, he restructured. That's right. He
And
restructured.
30 the year after that.
That's
And,
good.
and 23-24 isn't fully guaranteed, and 24-25 isn't guaranteed, but still, they're on the hook for a minimum, 28 next year, 30 the year after that.
That's
You're
not
gonna have to find his replacement anyway. So I mean, you may want to go ahead and look into that.
It's not easy trying to find a replacement because now it brings chemistry and everything else you're trying to replace.
Yeah.
The leadership in the locker room you're trying to replace. It ain't so easy.
But he's always hurt, so you're not gonna have him. Maybe
He wasn't hurt the last 2 years. It didn't cost him in the finals the last 2 years.
You got it. I think I agree with Chad. You got to find somebody that can spell him the minutes. Like maybe.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. But not to replace him.
No, not replacing.
No,
I'm saying you gotta get somebody that can come off the bench with a similar skill set. The best person, ironically, is in Memphis, which is Tyus Jones. He would be perfect for them.
Yeah, but they just signed Payne to money.
No, that's their fault.
So you can't just shake that though. I understand that, but you can't bring somebody else in to do what he's supposed to be doing.
You can send that somewhere else though.
Because Campaign, while decent on defense, he ain't it. He's not your answer.
Okay.
So you got to figure that out. And then the other part is Aiden. Do you pay? Is he worth a max contract? That's the question for the three of you guys.
He is worth the max contract.
He is, but
So then he's gone.
Phoenix. He may not be in Phoenix.
So he's gone.
Because right now they've got of their roster this year, right? Of their 15 players, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 under contract for next year.
Who are the big four though, Jesse?
Okay, hold on. They got 9 under contract. Those 9 do not include DeAndre Ayton, JaVale McGee, Holiday, or Biyombo.
I mean, it will be in the luxury tax.
Okay. And they're already with just those 9, they're at this year's payroll.
Right.
For 15.
Right.
So they got to add another 20 just to fill out their roster, right? With league minimums and vet minimums and stuff like that. Maybe a draft pick or 2, right? But then you can't pay Ayton another 30, 40, right?
You can't really. Yeah, man, that's a
or you could if you got rid of Paul, but then you didn't replace him. So
well, I don't know. I think you're boxed into the Paul thing. You gotta keep him.
Well, you could trade him. You could trade him.
Yeah, but
Nobody gonna.
No, somebody looking to dump $30 million off their books next year might take him at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Right. So
we'll take Chris Paul for Westbrook. If that's what they want. I'm okay with that.
All of a sudden, wait a minute. All of a sudden, you got love for Death Row. What's going on?
He said all he wanted to do is just pass it to LeBron and AD. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Well, it's an interesting situation. It really is. Wow. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. It's I think Ayton is due the money. I think he's earned it. I just don't know if Phoenix should pay it.
I don't think so.
That's a lot of money, man.
I think he's gone.
And here's the problem with paying it. Hear me out, Cam. Hear me out. This is what I mean by saying it. The reason why Ayton is getting his money is because of Chris Paul, not because of Devin Booker. So Chris Paul's got what, 2 more years to play at this level, possibly, maybe? And that might be stretching it.
Let's look at it from a different perspective, okay? This year, Phoenix had 3 players that made more than $10 million on their team, right? They had Booker and Paul at 30 and Ayton at 12. Nobody else made more than 30 million or made more than 10 million.
Mm.
And so if next year they're already hamstrung, right? And Paul's older, if you sign Ayton to a max deal, Your three highest players next year, the way you're constituted now, are Booker, Ayton, and Paul. But then, Paul, you're going to move or try to move, or he's gone after a year. You're moving forward with Booker, Ayton, and Bridges, because you just gave Bridges $100 million contract. He's making $25 a year. So is Bridges and Ayton and Booker, is that the three?
No.
That's going to take you to the promised land?
That is not Middleton, Holiday, and Giannis. No,
it's not.
Well, and that's
because they don't have a Giannis.
Well, but you just made my point for me. It as much as the money is a factor, it is also the functionality of that team. Devin Booker does not have the same skill set that Chris Paul does. He is not a pure distributor. He is not a get everybody involved kind of guy. He's a guy that gets buckets, and that's fine because that's what he does. He's great at it. That's who he is. But now you're still short a point guard. And so where do you find that guy for cheap, right? Because you need that guy in order to justify paying Ayton a max contract. And if you don't have that guy, there's no reason. And you don't believe that Chris Paul is going to be there the next 3 to 4 years, there's no reason to do this.
What about Westbrook? No, but see, you can't pay him though. See, that's the thing. If you're going to pay Ayton, Booker, and Bridges, you can't pay Westbrook.
Yeah, not in a trade. You'd have to figure out.
Right. And you can't pay John Wall, and you can't pay Westbrook.
Yeah. They'd have to be bought out, and then you bring them in.
You can't pay Kemba Walker.
Yeah.
So, like, what's even out there?
That's a great question, man. This is a tough. Go ahead.
They need to go get someone like
Conley.
No, you can't pay Conley.
Yeah, you got to get somebody
You got to get somebody like
mid-level.
Conley would be perfect. Conley would be perfect, but he's not. It ain't gonna work.
Well, yeah, you got to use your eye test on someone like Peyton Pritchard and say, I think he can come in and handle the ball. This will be Booker's team. We're defensive minded. He's a hard nosed player, right? Something like that. Like some guy, because you only got $5, $6, $8 million to pay him, right? Even after you get rid of Chris Paul. So, I mean,
it's not an easy situation. You're betting on a lot.
But the last team, we criticized the last team for getting to the finals when they actually won the finals at the 2011 Mavericks. We criticized them for breaking that team up. And I think that's kind of the same thing you had with Phoenix. If Phoenix wouldn't have brought back CP3 and did some other things that they did in the offseason, bringing back Payne and a couple other people, we would have fought them. We would have said the same thing. Like, how do you get that close and you don't bring that back and try to run it back?
Well, I think the Payne thing was a mistake. I honestly thought that was a mistake when they did it. I love campaign,
but he played great. He played great when CP3 was out last year. So you had to. You cannot not bring him back at that point.
Yeah, I agree.
You cannot not bring him back. It's like the Mavericks in the same boat right now. You got to play Jalen Brunson. You got to bring him back now. And he may sneak the joint up next year, but you got to bring him back now.
Yeah,
same thing, man.
It's a tough situation, man. It's a tough situation.
Good job, Lakers. We tried. You're supposed to bring back Dennis Schroeder.
Hey, so we're not the only ones. That's we're
not the only ones.
That's why it feels good. Okay. Who do you blame for the Bucks and the 76ers?
I blame Giannis for the Bucks.
You blame Giannis?
Yes, because we blame LeBron for everything. So yeah, I blame Giannis.
Oh my goodness. Is this what we're doing the rest of the night?
If we're gonna be blaming people,
we're defending LeBron.
Might as well.
What more could Giannis have done? I don't think anybody's blaming LeBron for anything. Cam was frozen. See, the Lord don't even like that. He was like, you have to keep blaming.
I think you can't blame Giannis. And then the Middleton injury happened. Coaching, Budenholzer, you could blame Budenholzer and, getting out coached, I guess. That's the only person I guess you could point the finger at.
I honestly don't blame anybody for the Bucks situation. I don't. I think they got beat by the better team. I think Giannis did everything he could have possibly done.
Yeah, but
mean,
Giannis had some stupidity plays down the stretch too, though. Listen, he played great.
But he was tired. Listen, you've been carrying these fools for 7 games.
Right? If you don't want to be that guy, I will.
I don't want to be that guy. I just
understand that, and I understand that. You're the best.
But to be fair,
you're the best player in the world.
But to be fair, when LeBron and them lost, it was at 2016 to the Golden State, and Kyrie was out, and Kevin Love was out, and LeBron is giving it all he got. I can't blame LeBron for that. He out there doing everything he can. He giving them water bottles in the timeout. He's wiping guys' forehead down to keep them sweat off of them. I mean, what else? Plus, he putting up 35. What else do you want him to do?
Don't compare.
25.
Was it 25? I apologize. Jesse took that personally.
You said LeBron averaged 25?
No, Giannis only scored 25 points.
Oh, yeah.
In that last game, right.
And they also went 4 for 33 from.
Well, because they were trying to find a way to get points and conserve energy, and
Giannis,
of which that didn't work.
Learn how to shoot, Giannis.
He's trying. He comes
okay,
back.
Well, he gets some blame too.
All right, you want to blame him now?
No.
He put up
I blame the
26
Celtics defense.
Boyd. He put up 26 shots and had 25 points.
Talk about it, Jesse. Talk about it. He don't get.
If y'all want to blame Giannis, that's fine.
No, I'm just saying that's not Kobe. That's not LeBron.
Oh man,
it's not.
That's not Dirk.
Keep going.
It's not Kobe, LeBron in the fact that he scored the points, but it is Kobe, LeBron.
That he took over the game. That he wasn't a great number 2.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Giannis.
What do you mean he's number 2?
No, I'm saying 25 points in a game 7.
he should have had 50 like he did last.
I'm saying if your team needs you to do it, you do it.
I see what you're saying.
If you're trying to go 200,
it doesn't matter. You do it.
It matters. Y'all
no, it don't.
Y'all being inflammatory tonight. The man gave everything he had.
I see what they're saying.
It wasn't good enough.
Last year,
good enough.
Last year he had 50, and they could have used that 50-point performance this year. So I understand what they say.
All right. If y'all want to blame him, that's fine. What about the 76ers? Who do you blame for that one?
Miami strip clubs, James Harden, Doc Rivers.
No, by the way, I'm not saying blame Giannis. I'm just saying don't put him up there yet.
I put him up there.
He's not up there yet.
I'm in my mind he is.
Well, you're gonna win one championship for the next 20 years. Good luck.
I think he'll get a couple more.
Not playing game 7s like that. I mean,
you're right, because he won't be in game 7s like that. You're right, because he won't be in game 7s like that.
He will if he stays. Hey, he will if he stays in the East because the Celtics are young, brother.
I feel you. Listen, I see you pounding your chest right now. That's okay. It's okay. Pound away.
Oh no.
Pound away. You've earned it.
I'm not pounding his chest, but I'm saying Giannis got to take some of the grip too. He's the best player on the team that won the NBA championship. He's the first team All NBA the last 2 years.
I don't think
all defense.
If you ask him, he would say it's my fault. But you're asking me. I'm saying I don't think it's your fault, brother. I don't know what I should have done.
Giannis take the blame too. That's all.
He did. He owned it. He owned it. What about the 76ers? Let's go back. Let's go forward.
I don't want to talk about
his brother.
Huh?
I blame his brother. Because genetically, he's got no excuses.
Who are we talking about?
He's talking about Giannis' brother should be helping out.
We're moving on. We're not going to keep blaming We're not going to keep blaming the Antetokounmpos for all of the problems of the Milwaukee Bucks. What about
Giannis woke up at like 2 o'clock in the morning after that game and looked over, saw his brother in the twin bed next to him and said,
he said the twin bed.
You got to practice, motherfucker.
We're moving on. 76ers. Who we blaming?
I'm blaming Giannis. So here's what
76ers. Who we blaming?
James.
Oh, y'all messy tonight. Y'all are messy tonight.
James Harden. You got to blame James Harden for not being, quote unquote, Houston James Harden.
His name is Maury.
Hey man, I got snacks and lunch in the car because that's exactly what I was thinking. This is all Daryl Morey's fault.
1,000%.
All Daryl Morey. I blame him for all of this. Matter of fact, this loss didn't even start in Philly.
No, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why you blame him. You blame him, right? It doesn't matter if you blame, but somebody could say, well, it was really Doc Rivers. Well, Morey should have gotten rid of him. Well, it was really Embiid got hurt, right? Or it was really Harden wasn't what we thought he was, right? Or we couldn't get Simmons right. I mean,
listen, Daryl Morey is a cockeyed optimist, and he locks in to stuff that he thinks is right. He's done that his entire GM career, and every time he does it, it fails miserably. It doesn't just fail, it fails miserably. Man, I think I could bring CP3 in, and we can win a title here with him and James. 1 for 17. Man, I think I could bring Russell Westbrook in, and we can still win a title. No, can't get out of the second round. Man, I think I could go to Philadelphia and win with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Can't even get a guy to shoot in the fourth quarter.
Oh, if you go throw Westbrook in that conversation, you got to talk about Pelinka too. Then,
he's just that's got to do with this.
Morey did with the 3-year older Westbrook.
Yeah, but we're talking about the 76ers right now. Lock in. Lock in a little bit. Just a little bit. Take some off. We'll get to Pelinka at some point.
I mean, yeah, you give Morey some blame, but I mean, Morey's not the one on the court though. You gotta.
I'm not giving all this to Morey. I'm not.
Yeah, you gotta. Somebody's on the court playing the game.
I'm giving it to some of them. Absolutely.
He shares the blame. Yeah.
James Harden. This is on YouTube. James Harden. Me and you, Lloyd, we talked about they should have tried to move Tobias Harris before they moved to anybody else.
Harden wouldn't have been on that court if it wasn't for Morey.
Well, listen, after watching Jimmy Butler last night, I definitely blame Daryl Morey.
Again, we go back a week, Jimmy Butler for Jaylen Brown, and we're in the NBA championship in the bubble.
Basis off one game, please.
Right? Cam and I are at the game. The numbers, Jimmy, he only had problems in Philly. I spent all week dwelling on this and losing sleep. Jimmy Butler's a freaking rock star.
He's the real thing.
Any day of the week. And if his only criticism is he's not starish enough, right, in what he does on his daily stuff, great. He'd be a great number 2.
Right.
In Boston. Right? Like.
Add Jimmy Butler back to both those teams. They're in the NBA Finals, and they're the favorites.
Facts.
They're the favorites. The obvious answer is James Harden for sure, but I blame Daryl Morey for empowering this fool to be who he is. James Harden is never held accountable for anything he ever does, ever.
That's because people pay him. Do you blame Embiid?
No.
At all? No, hold on. Let me ask why. Because he's the one. Whether he was right or wrong, right? Because I don't know.
I know where you're going,
Simmons, but he could have squashed that.
Could have
a long time ago if he wanted to. And again, decisions have consequences. So
he could have squashed what, Jesse?
Could have squashed the Ben Simmons thing.
Oh,
yeah, he could have squashed the Ben Simmons thing a long time ago in the offseason, right? They could have gone to Cabo and had a couple of pina coladas and whatever the hell they wanted to do. The point is it didn't have to be what it was. But Embiid made a decision, and he said, I don't want Simmons unless he comes back on my terms. And so because of that, so how much extra pressure did he take on? How many extra minutes did he play this year just to get their record where it needed to be?
Right.
How many more fouls did he take? How many more hits did he take? Right. And now we're talking about, 8 wins away from an NBA championship. And like that dude could barely walk. Right. He could barely see. He was, a ball hit him in the face and he was down for 5 minutes. Like, and then he had the whole thumb thing. How much of that is on Embiid? Like, Harden may not have ever been a problem.
I will get on board with what you are saying if you can answer this one question for me. I don't know why my computer's doing that, but okay. If you can answer this one question for me, because I'll get on this fantasy island with you.
You better be careful, Lloyd.
If they squash the beef and they drink the pina coladas and tap on a few booties and say we're all good, does Ben Simmons come back a better player and willing to shoot this year?
Yes.
Yes, he puts in the work.
Motivation.
What makes y'all think that's true? He hasn't yet.
Because
He's been in the league all the time and he's yet to find a jump shot. So what makes y'all think that's true?
I'm not relying on his jump shot to help me win. We both said it before. I will put him at power forward. But listen, it's on Embiid and it's on Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers had an opportunity after the press conference to deal with that too, right after the game. And what did he say? I don't know what kind of changes we're gonna make. I don't know if Ben Simmons is gonna be here or not. Like right after the game, this is on both of them.
But it's his unwillingness to shoot is why they arrived at that conclusion.
What is the difference of him being unwilling to shoot and Russell Westbrook shooting and getting the same results?
Why are we bringing up Russell Westbrook? Why are we going back to the Lakers?
No, but take it a step further, Lloyd. His unwillingness to shoot has nothing to do with his jump shot. It has to do with his confidence to take the jump shot and be able to deal with the fact that he might miss it.
Okay, I'll play that silly game with you. So what makes you think that he's going to come back
with the confidence? He's going to come back and take that shot. I didn't say he could come back and go from a 30% shooter to a 40% shooter, right? Mm-hmm. But all Embiid wants him to do is take that shot because if you don't, we don't have a chance. If you do, at least we got a 30% chance, right? And
you think by loving him up, they would have got to take that shot.
Embiid would have given him, right? If they were on a beach in May for 2 weeks with their families and that bond, right? What he could have created in a leadership opportunity there.
I agree.
Right? He could have taken an incredible talent and put an umbrella over him, put a coat around him, put his arms around him and said, I got you. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do it together. Assists, defense, the whole nine. But at the end, you gotta know I'm with you. I'm ride or die. If you miss it, we miss it together. If I take it and miss it, we miss it together, right? If we make it, we win together. Like he could have done something for Ben.
And I hear you. I don't think he owed that to him. If I'm being honest, I don't think he owed it. Listen to me. They're all listen. Okay.
No, he owed that. He owed that to.
Hold on. Let me finish. Here's why I don't think he owes that to him. Because if you owe that to him, you owe that to everybody. And here's what I mean by that. Don't we all know that we work for the NBA? We work for these NBA teams, and our job is to play basketball. Nobody should have to tell you to do your job. Nobody should have to love you up to do your job. You're not a child. You're not a baby. Go do your damn job. Go get better in the offseason. That is your job. And the fact that I'm not going to blame Embiid for not making this man go do the job that he's being paid to do.
But Embiid should not actually be in press conferences talking about the matters since he did the same thing with Ben Simmons and Harden.
All wrong, Chad. It was all wrong.
Yeah, he did the same thing he did with Ben Simmons with Harden, talking about he's not the Houston James Harden.
Same thing. It's wrong.
He shouldn't be doing that in press conferences if he's a leader too.
Embiid is so outspoken right now, and you've only played 3 whole seasons.
Yeah,
who are you?
That shouldn't be.
We trust the process, and you are what the process equaled up to. Like we losing regardless. Then,
yeah. I don't love that he talks about his teammates that way. I don't love that part, but I don't think he owes them that conversation of get better.
Okay, so okay, I ain't gonna bring it. Okay,
no, I'm asking. Okay, let me ask you. Okay, you know why I know that I'm right about this. Because we literally just had Nephew on last week, and he said, you have a responsibility to go get better, to become great, to go do your thing. The Bears can't give that to you. The league can't give that to you. That is your job. So that's his job. Go do your job.
Okay. I get that, Lord.
Now-
I get that. I get that what you're saying. So if the Bears go all the way to the playoffs this year and they go to the East, the NFC Championship game, and they just so happen to make it to the Super Bowl, and they playing the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Really,
Huh?
the Patriots?
They playing the Patriots. They playing the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Right.
And John get bit on a double move when he had one assignment to do. And so after the game, he's down on himself, and he's like, I don't know, I can't believe I did this and this and this. You're telling me that the coaches shouldn't lift him up? The best player, hold on. The best players on the team should lift him up. They should try to get John's confidence back.
They should, but they don't owe him that. Do you understand the difference in what I'm saying?
They
Like,
don't
They
owe
owe
him
the team that, Lloyd. They owe the team that.
listen to what
That
I'm
comes
saying.
with $250
I don't agree
million.
with that, Lord.
If they don't owe it to him, don't say anything in the press, though.
I would agree to disagree, man.
Listen to what we'll disagree to disagree on this. But listen, I need y'all to hear what I'm saying.
We hear you.
He's supposed to do it. That's what you want your leader to do. But all leaders are not created equal. So no, he doesn't have to do that. Shaq never said to Kobe, "Hey man, you missed the 4 air ball." Well, he did say to him, you're gonna make those shots one day. But that's all he said. He didn't say go get better or go work on them. He just said, you'll hit them one day. It'll work out. I'm saying, Ben, y'all are assuming in this
Ben
fantasy.
Simmons is not Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay, but you guys are assuming in this scenario that Jesse has brought up that he is going to go do the right thing, even after the encouragement. Because yeah, he get it last year, and he blasted him last year. But there were mistakes that Ben Simmons has made in the playoffs every year he's been there.
So is Embiid.
But okay. You're still not hearing what I'm saying.
I am hearing what you're saying, but I'm saying you're assuming the other way. You're saying we're assuming one way. I'm saying you're assuming the other way.
Well, this is Jesse's scenario. That ain't my scenario.
That don't make you right either, though.
On this fantasy island.
Hey,
that don't
no,
make
listen.
you right.
This is all I'll say about this. Because he didn't do it, he doesn't have a championship. And players like Brady and players like Steph Curry, right? They will do it, and that's the difference. Durant didn't win a championship till he got on a team with a leader. A couple of them, right? He can't do it by himself. So Embiid may not owe it to anybody, but he owes it to himself, because if he ever wants to get a championship, he's going to need to learn how to do all those things the championship caliber players and leaders and 250 million contract guys do.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that part. My only thing was, y'all, in the scenario that you presented, we're assuming that Ben would have responded to that. And so let's go the other way. Let's go to a real life situation. When he got to Brooklyn did everything to love him up. Hey, man, we got your back. We're going to work with you one-on-one with shooting. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And he said, oh, my back is hurting. Now, maybe it is. I don't know.
Surgery, Lloyd.
Come on, man.
A lot of people have surgery after the offseason.
Boy, you reaching, man. You reaching.
No, I'm not reaching. I need y'all need to hear what I'm saying. Everybody has surgery after the season. A lot of people have had surgery after the season. Knee surgeries, but they play through that pain in the playoffs. So we can't use that as an excuse. He had surgery. A lot of people are having surgery. 50% of the league is having surgery as soon as the season's over. We're assuming that his head is reachable by just a simple encouragement, and he's not proving that.
Hey, you put me on that team, Ben Simmons will be playing at an all-star level.
All right, listen.
Because there's a way. And a good leader doesn't care if it's his way. A good leader just says, I'm going to find the way.
Right.
I'm going to come meet you where you're at. Right?
We all understand that. I think we all understand that. I personally would have done it what you're saying, Jesse. I would have said to him, hey, man, matter of fact, I would have said, hey, man, meet me in whatever city we're going to meet in, Miami or wherever you want to party at, or LA or whatever. Let's meet there and let's work out this summer. Let's figure this out.
I've seen Ben Simmons on video shooting jump shots and making them. So I'm not gonna say he can't make a jump shot.
Different in the
He
game.
clearly can.
But I don't think that's his problem. I think his problem, like we've all said, is mental. So that's the workout he needs in the summer. How do I get out of my head and do my job? How do I do that?
Yeah, I mean,
So I don't know. I don't blame Embiid, but if y'all want to blame Embiid, y'all big on blaming stars tonight. So I'm gonna let y'all.
What I think is Embiid could have softened the blow. He could have made a difference. Is what I'm saying. And that's his job as the leader. That is his job as the leader. That is his job as the leader.
Okay. What we doing here? Who you blaming for the Grizzlies or the Suns? And the Suns, rather.
I think we already hit the Suns. Yeah, the Suns. I mean, the Grizzlies, I think they had bad shot selection.
I didn't hear y'all say who y'all blame for the Suns. Y'all blame is it CP3 and no one else?
Devin Booker, CP3.
You mad about that?
No, I'm not mad about that.
It's CP3. That's so personal.
Well, but that don't mean it's wrong. It just means it's personal. It don't mean it's wrong because
you gotta give some of it to Devin Booker too.
Listen, if you're gonna accept people calling you the point guard, you gotta accept people calling you the point fraud. And I know he didn't like any of the stuff, and a lot of NBA players didn't like any of the stuff Pat Bev said this week, but
Patrick Beverly, he can come play for me any day.
Hey, listen,
no wonder Wiggins was an all-star starter. No wonder Phoenix didn't have nobody on there.
Hey, by the way, Pat Bev literally just locked up his future
with the Lakers
this week. Oh no, I'm talking about post
after
career.
the NBA.
Post career, locked it up.
Yeah.
Somebody will have him on their set. Now he's got to be refined a little bit. He's got some holes.
You can put him on Showtime or HBO or something.
Ooh, he's going to make a lot of money. He's going to make a lot of money.
My boy said he want to play with LeBron.
I wouldn't reject that. I ain't gonna hold you. Because Pat Bev's the kind of player that you hate if he ain't on your team. But my God, if he's on your team.
Just been telling me that for about 7 years now.
Go do your thing, Pat Bev. Bruh. Go do your thing. Goodness gracious. What about the Grizzlies? Do you blame anybody on that one?
I mean,
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. I think they just had job being out. That kind of hurt them. But I mean, they played defense better kind of with him out. So I don't know how much they hurt him, but I feel like they did take a lot of bad shots. And then Jaren Jackson. When they decided like game 6 and game 6 and game 5, like that they could actually go inside, to the paint, they did a lot better. So I feel like the shot selection got better, but I think it was a little too late.
Only just because of inexperience, I blame a little bit Taylor Jenkins. Only because of inexperience.
Yeah.
Because you got to rein that in. Them shots were bad. A lot of them shots were bad. Even though Dylan Brooks was hitting shots in that final game, that ain't what you need. He ain't him firing up threes.
Yeah,
that's not a recipe for winning. You're not going to win no game with him shooting a bunch of threes. So but again, I'm gonna stall him out because we ain't never been there.
But you're not blaming Budenholzer if Giannis misses Game 7, right?
If he misses Game 7,
like if he gets hurt, like
no. And
right.
I don't blame Ja.
So no, but I'm saying you wouldn't blame Mike either. So like that's why I don't blame Taylor.
You're saying blame the coach.
Oh, I see what you're saying. He did the best he could with what he had. I got you.
Yeah.
Well,
like, those guys are putting up shots because their entire offense for 95 games.
Well, I said a little bit, Jesse. I just said a little bit.
But I'm saying, what was he supposed to do? It's like, what do you tell him? What's Mike supposed to do if he loses Giannis?
I agree. I agree. I can't disagree with what you're saying, but the question was about blaming somebody. If you got to blame somebody, unfortunately, that's probably
you blame the NBA. I mean, you blame fate sometimes, right?
Yeah, fate's quality.
Like you said, inexperience too. So
the Grizzlies get a pass for me.
Now overall, yes, for
The
sure.
Grizzlies get a pass because they shouldn't be here. They got here too quick.
Well, listen, that brings us to I have a question 3.5 for you. Can Dallas and Miami shock everybody?
Why
Whoa,
would it be
I
a
didn't-
Dallas is ahead of schedule.
First of all, I didn't have question 3.5 on my show script.
That's exactly right. That's right. Surprise!
Yeah, that was a pop up right there.
I didn't see anybody spin the wheel.
That is very true. That is very true. Full disclosure, Five Nation. There was no 3.5 questions prior.
By
to
the way,
show.
Lord, I was kind of feeling a certain kind of way when I looked up and I saw somebody post that there was a game 7 in Boston. Just let you know.
You were feeling the way about that? I was excited.
Hell yeah, I was feeling the way about it.
Oh wow. I was excited for him.
Wow.
That's where he was supposed to
We
be.
all there. It didn't Camp say if one of us is there? we
That's
all
how I
there?
felt. Hey, Jesse, I felt like we was at game 7. That's what I felt.
Wait. So if I say that it's right, but Embiid don't say nothing, he don't get the blame. That's what I'm
You were on
talking about, man.
FaceTime in the garden. That's all I know.
If y'all FaceTime
Hey,
me,
yeah, so you was using that too. You
you was there. So you need to hush. The rest of us get no FaceTime. So there it is.
All of y'all. Pelican
All
Bay.
right.
I'm putting cases on all.
Cases on all of us. I got you. Dallas right now, only down by 3 points, 5 minutes to go in the first. Can they pull this off?
Dallas
No.
can go and sneak game 1. And if they sneak game 1, they sneak the series. If they lose game 1, they lose this series in 5 or 6.
Okay.
I said it first. It might be a gentleman's sweep. It might be too much firepower for Dallas.
I think my concern of who can sneak is Miami only for this reason. If Boston can't be healthy all the way across the board, and it doesn't appear that's going to happen, because I think the Horford thing, I know a lot of the programs are saying they can win without Horford, they can win without Horford. There's some intangible things that Horford is doing. There's some experience things that he's bringing to the table that you're not going to get with Robert Williams, and that's going to show up in critical moments. And now I think it looks like they're going to get Marcus Smart back tomorrow. So that's going
Boston
to kind
will
of
win
bring
this
some
series
balance
hands
back
down.
to it. Huh?
Boston will win this series hands down. Matter of fact, Miami might win one more game. Might. Can I get the screen for just a second? I want to tell you, and I'm going to tell everybody else this right now.
We'll tell everybody.
Do not get mad at me. I'm just stating the obvious.
We're not even mad at you, but we might question your sanity.
You're always questioning me. But I want everybody looking at me. I want you to understand.
Okay.
Jimmy Butler's going to break his arm in the next game.
Wow! Why would you say that?
That was
Why would you say that?
that was kind of much.
That's what you wanted the single screen for?
Let me just say this.
To break Jimmy Butler's arm?
No. Let me be serious. I smell an injury to turn this series either way for the teams. I smell an injury that's going to turn the season for them. For either way, though. Either somebody significantly from Boston is going to hamstring, or somebody from my, because that's the kind of stuff that happens when you get to the pinnacle, to the very top of this stuff. This is what happens.
But
Well,
isn't that what just happened? Horford's going to miss the first 2 games at least because of COVID. And
True.
because these games are going every other day now, if this happened in the first round, right?
Right.
Well, in any point in the first round, they probably would have made it through, and they were getting like 4 days of rest between games and 6 days between series. And
Yeah, I got you.
now they're every other day, right? And so, like, you got COVID and Marcus Smart's foot sprain, right? That's 3 games by starters that are gone from this series.
I agree.
Cam, you picked the wrong person to break the arm. You need Gabe Vincent to break his arm because
What is happening? Why are y'all breaking arms?
Because they're 7-0 when he starts. So that's
No more breaking arms. We got to stop breaking arms.
You need to break his arm.
This is unbelievable tonight.
Why
We
do
become
Chad
violent.
know that?
Why are we choosing violence tonight? I don't understand what's going on.
So that's to be the person.
Listen, Austin is the better team. The problem is the X factor of Jimmy Butler.
Whoa.
It is. It's a problem. It's a problem.
Whoa.
It's a problem.
Boston is the better team?
I think Boston is the better team.
How are you saying that?
Because I think when you look at what Jalen does, or Jason Tatum, when you look at what Jalen does, when you look at the bench, I think they have a better bench. I think they're the better top to bottom. Hold on, I think they are a better top to bottom team. My problem is Jimmy Butler he might be the most ready player in this moment, and that's where I'm challenged.
Tatum has been to more conference finals than Jimmy.
But Jimmy is ready for the conference final. There's a difference.
But it looks like Tatum is ready for the conference final.
I mean, I think
Tatum was ready for the first half of the conference finals.
I think both of them, you put them together and they're a wash. So you got to go with the other matchups at this point because I think Butler and Tatum are something.
See, that's where I disagree.
I mean,
I watched Butler last night, and what's in his eyes.
Lord, which one of those guys is the top 10 player in the NBA?
Jason Tatum.
Stop it then. Don't do that. Don't you do this off of one game, Lord. Stop.
Okay. Hold on. You want to try to jam me up? Which one of them looked like a top 10 player last night?
Okay. Well, I tell you what then. I tell you what, Lord. This is what I'm going to do. And I wish Reggie was on the show right now because when Daniel Jones have that first game.
The show got tight, didn't it, Chad? It got tight, didn't it? That shit got tight a minute ago, didn't it?
When Daniel Jones have that first game.
The truth is going to set you free.
Daniel Jones
looked like a top tier player last night.
Daniel Jones going to throw for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns and no picks in the first game. And I'm going to say,
listen. That may happen actually.
Oh, man.
That is actually a possibility.
No, I feel
I'm
like
not giving it to Jimmy Buckets because he had this one great game. I'm not. Yeah. I tell you what Tatum did. Tatum had one bad game.
Tatum played great for the first half, 21 points.
No. I'm saying Tatum has had one bad game in these playoffs. Outside of that, Tatum has been pretty what he is. He's a top 10 player.
Listen, I'm pissed that we didn't take Jason Tatum to this day as LA.
I am too now. I am.
Right. So, but I'm telling you, this thing with Jimmy Butler is real.
He's had a good game.
But he's always. But see, that's the point I'm trying to help you understand. He's always having good games in the playoffs. In the bubble, he had a bunch of good games. He's not the bubble.
And Tatum don't.
I'm not comparing. I'm saying
this is what we do. We are comparing.
You're comparing. I'm saying Jimmy Butler is a problem.
Tatum is a bigger problem than Jimmy Butler is.
Huh?
Tatum is a bigger problem than Jimmy Buckets.
We'll see.
I think they both are problems. They both are problems, but I think the others on both teams is what's going to decide that.
Come on, man. I can't believe you saying this, Lord.
Okay, so who has the better others? You're saying because Boston, if we're saying that, doesn't Boston have the better others?
I think Miami has Oladipo, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Kyle Lowry, Bam.
Lowry's not playing. Duncan Robinson hasn't played the entire playoffs.
Okay. I get that. I'm saying Miami has. I'm gonna say Miami has the better team.
But see, you guys, one of the things that we get trapped in on this show always, and it's not just us; it's all across sports media. We always look at one side of the ball and say, "Oh, they got the better players." You're trying to tell me those dog defenders for Boston, you wouldn't want that?
I didn't say that.
That
wasn't even the question, and I didn't even say that, man.
That is the question. The question was, who has the better bench? Who has the better bench? Who has the better bench? Who beyond Jimmy Butler and Jason Tatum has the better squad?
Boston.
That's the question.
Boston.
Because Grant Williams had one good game, we have to include that too, right?
But it's not even just his. See, again, you're looking at the offensive side of the ball. It's not just what he did with those 3 pointers. He's a hell of a defender.
By the way, if you listen to the game last night, the only person talking into the huddles was Grant Williams. Second of all, Grant Williams shot over 40% from 3-point range for the entire season.
Oh, man.
You're not winning a championship of any kind without great defensive play.
The thing that Boston could do is they have so much depth and talent that they can switch how they're going to play at any given moment. They're playing Miami completely differently than they play.
What is the series right now?
Completely differently than they played Brooklyn.
Hold on, Jesse. Let me help Cam out. Cam, you said that we mortgaged the farm in the bubble to get a championship. And Jason Kidd was our coach, the one we should have kept. What was his forte?
Defense.
Okay, let's move on.
What did that mean, though? What point did you just prove? Nothing.
The point I just proved is that the better defensive team is going to win this the Eastern
So
Conference.
Boston is going to win. Boston's going to beat the Heat. Put your money up then.
Well, listen, where my checking?
No, put your money up then. That's what you're saying.
I think Boston's going to win this series.
Stop talking to me.
Oh,
Wow. You really hostile tonight. You
very aggressive.
hold on. Cam thinks Boston's going to win the series too, so let's just stop right now.
He does think Boston's going to win this
Cam
series.
thinks Miami's going to win the series, Jesse.
What?
Cameron thinks Miami's going to win the series.
Really?
I'm dead serious. I think Miami's going to
So
win.
then why are you arguing against what I was saying about Jimmy Butler?
I'm not arguing about what you're saying, though. I'm just saying that Tatum is the better player, first of all.
Well, let's go to the fourth question then, since we're already there. Who's going to the finals? You said Miami and
Bring it back, 2011. Bring it back.
Miami and Dallas. That's what you're doing out here in these
Bring
streets.
it back, 2011.
Wow. Well, I'm bringing it back, but not with Dallas.
Hold on. Did Dallas win it in 2011?
They did not. No, they did. That was when they won. Yeah.
They lost
That was the only thing they ever won. Yes.
Hold on. When did they lose? 2009?
6.
Six?
Yeah.
Who did they lose to?
Miami. Bring it back.
I don't see it.
If we bring it back, we're bringing it back to 2006, not to 2011.
Miami's going to beat Dallas?
Yes. Miami would beat Dallas if Miami were in the NBA Finals, or if Dallas were in the NBA Finals. But neither one.
I know
of them will be in the NBA Finals.
Dallas has the better player in that series too. You win with your super players.
I got you.
You win with superstars. Jimmy
Well, that's
Butler's not a superstar.
Well, if that's the case, I'm going Golden State.
They got a lot of superstars.
They got a lot of superstars. I'm going Golden State, and I'm going Boston.
No, did he just say Luka's better than Steph?
He said it, but he didn't mean it with his heart.
Oh.
I did not say that.
You did.
I said
In your own way, you did.
I said he's better than Jimmy Butler. Don't you ever put words in my mouth, Joe. He's
You
better.
can't, no, you can't take it back to 11 or 6 unless Luka's the best player on this court, because you just said the best superstar wins, and that means you're saying Luka's better than Steph. So it never gets to 11 or 6 if Luka's not better than Steph.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think we're gonna have to worry about this much. I just don't think Dallas has enough.
Right on.
I just don't think they have enough to beat everybody. Like, that's a lot. You're asking Luka. Luka is a great player, but this feels like you're asking Iron Man to beat Thanos by himself.
No.
You know,
Dallas is the one team in the league.
Iron Man, I guess, kind of did beat him. I don't know what to
They
feel about
are
that.
the
Maybe
one
they're
team
right.
that play team basketball. I'm
Dallas
saying
has some X factor. They have Brunson. They have Kleber, who's shooting 49% from 3. They got Dinwiddie.
They got a bunch of guys who have never been here before and don't really know how to
That's
take
the
their
same
game
thing.
to the next level.
That's the same thing they had in 2011 and they won. They had Dirk.
No, that's not true. That's not true. They had a lot of experience. They literally had Jason Kidd, who had been to the finals twice.
And Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk Nowitzki had been to the finals twice.
Other than that,
Tyson Chandler, who had been to the conference finals and stuff. They had a ton of experience on that team. It's not the same comparison, gentlemen.
okay.
Just saying.
Well, my pick is Boston and Golden State.
We do listen. We knew you were going Golden State no matter what. That was a given.
I had
Arguing for Dallas.
No, I'm just saying.
No, you were just saying that. Yeah, they can beat Golden State because
Very confusing night in here.
I'm saying. I mean, he said yes, they could. Anybody can beat anybody on any given night, but I'm saying.
I think,
pick.
yeah, I think Dallas is going to struggle mightily in this series.
They're down by 10 right now.
I don't think it's going to get much. It's a lot.
That ain't shit for a Jason Kidd team.
It's completely something for Jason Kidd. That is completely shit for a Jason Kidd team.
Okay.
That's not. Listen, hey man, that ain't Phoenix out there.
I didn't say it was. But that is, but the better defensive team,
Hold on. The better defensive team is going to win. The better defensive team. Hold on. Jesse, where's your text?
You said Golden State is a better defensive team than Dallas?
Yes.
Jesse, thank you for sending this to me. You're such a wonderful guy. Number 1 defensive team in the league this year, the Boston Celtics. Number 2, the Golden State Warriors.
As of now, yeah.
No. Overall this year in the league, here it is.
Hey man, hey you listen. You want to double back on that Maverick series too? Since you want to put money on that Miami and Boston series,
Listen, I refuse to put money on any of these jokers because with my checking and my savings work. I think I'm going Golden State, Boston, but I'm not as confident on the Boston. I think Boston has the better team. That Jimmy Butler thing scares me. Because he's for real. Here's what I've never seen Jimmy Butler do yet in a playoff game. Never seen him shrink in the moment. Not one time.
Excuse me?
Name the game he shrunk in the moment.
Game 6 against the Lakers in the NBA Finals.
Go back and look at what the points. Did he shrink or did the team shrink?
You tell me.
That's different. Huh?
You tell me. We had him by like damn near 40 points. You tell me.
Right. We had the team, but Jimmy was there. He just was there by himself.
That boy can have that boy. The great Jimmy Butler couldn't stop LeBron not one piece.
I agree. He did the best he could with what he had. He didn't have all the parts he got now. Listen. He makes me nervous, but I'm going Boston.
They had crowd on that team too,
huh? He had crowd on that team. He did. Wow.
Lloyd, you got to remember, man, and I say this with all sincerity.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's 3-0 Miami, which it's not going to be, but even if it is,
mm-hmm.
Celtics should have won game 1 without 2 starters. They will not make 2 field goals in a quarter again, maybe in the history of the franchise, because that's the first time it happened. They didn't score till 7+ minutes into the third quarter, and they made 2 baskets the entire quarter.
Yeah.
Miami outscored them by 25 in the third quarter alone, and they won by 11. You got to take 1 quarter off the table, and that was without Horford and Smart.
And they pushed Milwaukee to the brinks without Middleton.
Yeah.
I don't know what drink you had tonight, brother, but you are fired up. Let's go to a softer subject. Our final subject of the night. Schedules came out. NFL. Y'all like what you got?
I know what week 8 is in Dallas.
I know Chicago's playing the easiest division in the NFC.
Hurt. Your words hurt, Jesse.
Oh Lord, so you get to see him play the Giants too.
I get to see him play the Giants. I think they got to come to Giants Stadium, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. I hope nephew had a great game.
I have a new sleeper in all of this football talk that I have just been neglecting, and I want to apologize to him. I don't like their quarterback, but when you look and see what their quarterback has done last year before he got hurt, you see what he did the year before that when he was with another team, and I see what the team has done to these people. I am saying do not sleep on the New Orleans Saints, is what I'm going to tell you.
Listen, I cannot argue at all. If Jameis could just be 60%.
He was playing good before he got hurt last year.
He was. I'm saying if he could just be
His
60%.
numbers were all up across. Other than interceptions, they were down.
Yeah. I think they got everything. Wide receiver wise, they got everything.
Yeah.
There's no holes at all.
Running back too. Running back too. And then they improved their defense. So
there are a lot of quarterbacks that will be playing for their job this year. Jameis Winston is one of them because he has no excuses.
Fact.
The week 1 game that I want to see is the.
We know you want to see Dallas and Tampa Bay.
Hold on.
I wasn't about to say that.
Chad, on that before you go Dallas homer on us. Is because I'm taking bets right now. Anybody want to tell me New Orleans going to win their division? I'm taking bets right now.
I can't say that.
I won't bet on that. I definitely wouldn't bet on that because Kamara can go out week 2. I'm not going to bet that.
Yeah,
you wouldn't bet that, and you would. Hold on, you wouldn't bet that if Tom Brady sprained his throwing shoulder in week 2 either.
If both teams stay healthy.
But New Orleans is on Tampa Bay.
Okay, so both teams stay healthy. You're taking New Orleans over Tampa Bay in the division. $500 right now.
Well, see, listen, the way my checking and my savings.
No, you got to be convicted. All right, yeah, that's 3 days.
I don't have that kind of conviction for New Orleans.
You got 7 months.
Yeah, I don't have a dog in the fight.
I don't have that kind of conviction for New Orleans.
Let me tell you why I won't take that bet. Because New Orleans can lose the offensive lineman and the defensive end. You can be like, well, those people are not relevant like the running back and the quarterback and the receiver is. So who are you to say that they're totally healthy? You say that both teams are healthy.
Right.
Yeah. Like I was saying, week 1, the team that I want to see, the game is Denver and Seattle. We'll see Russell Wilson play.
I hate that.
Seattle has nobody.
I was say it should be a blowout.
I still think it's going to be a good game.
It should be a blowout. It should be a blowout.
You want to see when Seattle has nobody?
I want to see Russell Wilson put it on his own team.
Well,
So you don't want to see Tampa Bay and Dallas may be the most exciting game for week 1, bro. You got to relax.
Man.
It will eat the ratings up, Chad. Stop.
No,
Yeah, but-
the most exciting game week 1 is going to be Buffalo and the Rams.
No.
Yeah, Buffalo and the Rams. That's gonna be
Cowboys.
must
Hey,
see.
I mean, I don't
we all
know if
know
Tampa
what it
Bay.
is. The Cowboys take ownership of the whole NFL, no matter how.
Well,
much
that's going to be the most watched game.
Yeah, but it's going to be a different Dallas team than it was last year. So I don't know
like
what
we
Dallas
said.
team. I don't know what Dallas team I'm going to get. So I don't know. I'm not sure.
Did Grunt go back to Tampa Bay?
He hasn't made a
Not
decision
yet.
yet.
So he's just waiting on Tom Brady call.
No, Thomas probably texted him and called. He's just like,
We'll figure the answer out to that on the next commercial.
Gronk doesn't want to sign until July, so they don't have to do any OTAs or mandatory mini camps.
he's using the Michael Strahan
Yeah,
pre-camp playbook.
yeah, they're holding a spot for him and Sue.
Yeah, I don't know what I want to do. And then right at the end of training camp, he's like, okay, I'm good. I don't know. I think the Rams Buffalo is going to be insane.
What about the Rams Niners with Jimmy Garoppolo back there?
Well, who said Jimmy Garoppolo going to be back there?
Hey, what about Russell back in Seattle? Monday Night Football.
Well, that's what
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's saying he thinks that's the game of the weekend. I hate it's the first game. I hate it. Save that to the middle of the year, to where everybody can at least. So now, because the excuse is going to be, well, Seattle didn't have all their parts yet, and they haven't had time, and that's why Russell blew them out by 30, and that's going to be the excuse.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think Denver's going to destroy Seattle.
There also is that Cleveland-Houston game, which that's going to be interesting. And that's in week 13, so Deshaun Watson should be playing by that time.
That won't be.
Damn, we're on week 13 now.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it should be because you don't know necessarily who Baker Mayfield could be the Texans quarterback.
It doesn't matter who the Texas quarterback is. They're getting their ass whooped. Deshaun Watson, listen to me. Deshaun Watson going to the Browns is a problem. Because here's what it appears is about to happen. Here's what it appears is about to happen. I don't think he's going to get he's not going to get more than 6 games. He may not get more than 4.
I can see that. That's good for everybody. But
Okay, so they're 0-4 or 0-6. That's what we're deciding between.
Well, let's see the schedule. I want to see the schedule.
It doesn't matter.
It might.
It doesn't matter.
Because Jacoby Brissett is going to be the starting quarterback. Can he hold his fort down? They open the season. If it's 4 games, they open the season. Carolina, Jets, Steelers, Atlanta. Jacoby can get them to 3-1, or at least 2-2.
Shoot, maybe 4-0. I don't know. Falcons.
Yeah, he could split. He could split that. He could go 4-0. Not a difficult starting schedule.
Yeah, he could right the ship on that one. Yeah, it's not going to be. I don't think that's going to be a problem at all.
I don't think it's going to be a problem. If he gets 4 now, it gets a little sticky in week 5 because they got the Chargers, and then week 6 they got New England. And see, remember, it's a TV show. 4 games, those 4 games, anybody will be watching them anyway. But Browns Chargers, we're watching. So it behooves the TV show and the NFL to have him back ready for week 4 or ready for week 5 to play to have Chargers Browns.
Makes sense.
And he's not missing Monday Night Football in week 8 with Cincinnati Browns.
That's going to be, I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see what he gets. I know they're ruling it right now and going through proceedings. So I don't know how long that usually takes, but it's going to be very interesting.
I would imagine they want to get this resolved relatively fast so he can move. And I just don't think the Browns would have made the move if they didn't have some inclination that it's going to be somewhere between 4 to 6 games. So I think 6 is the ceiling, 4 is the floor.
They were 3-3 through their first 6 games last year with Baker. They were 8-9 on the season. So Deshaun comes back to a 3-3 team. Without Baker, they're 1-5, 0-6.
No, because I think they can win those games. I really think they can win those games.
Okay, they can
I
beat the
could be wrong.
Steelers. No, they can beat Carolina.
They can beat Carolina.
Jets.
The Jets are improved.
With nobody at quarterback, right? Brian Hoyer's your quarterback, whatever.
Right.
So they can beat the Panthers.
Yes.
They can beat the Jets. With no
Yes.
quarterback.
I would say yes because I don't think the Jets are going to start to really gel until like week 6 or 7.
They can beat the Steelers.
Well, if Kenny Pickett is starting out, I think so.
I'm gonna say yes, and definitely the Falcons. I don't have any trust in the Falcons.
And the Chargers.
No.
And the Patriots.
No.
And the Ravens.
No.
And the Bengals.
No. He needs to be back by week 5.
So if he's back by week 5, okay, their next 6 games are Chargers, Patriots, Ravens, Bengals, Dolphins, Bills, Buccaneers.
That's tough. That's a tough stretch.
And then they get a week off with the Texans, and they go right back Cincinnati, Baltimore.
Jeez.
They get a week off with the Texans.
and then the Saints.
Oh, I just caught it. I just heard it.
No, I mean they're week 5.
I think it's gonna be 4.
They're week 5 to 15. This is Deshaun Watson's first 10 games with a 4-game suspension. This is his first 10 games.
Right.
Chargers, Patriots, Ravens, Bengals, Dolphins, Bills, Buccaneers, Texans, Bengals, Ravens, Saints.
Yes, listen. Once he gets on the field,
I think they go 2-9 in his first 11 games if he can beat the Dolphins and the Texans.
so you think he's going to struggle no matter what because he hadn't
I'm
seen
saying he's going to struggle against Baltimore and against Cincinnati
I
twice,
agree.
and Baltimore twice, and Buccaneers. Yeah. I
But
think
those
he's
aren't
gonna-
gimmicks. I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying they're going to dominate any of all those games. I'm just saying I think it's going to be.
I don't think their record will be better
without
this year than it was last year. 8-9.
Really? Wow.
They'll have a equal or worse record.
Wow.
Less than 9 wins for the Cleveland Browns this year.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's an early prediction. I'm gonna hold off on mine. I want to see how folk come out of these camps. But I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm just saying it's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
Where'd Cam go?
I don't know. That's what I was trying to figure out. But we're at the shout out portion of our show. So I'll turn that over to you guys.
Cool. I just got one shout out, shouting out my little boy Mason. Finished his first outdoor soccer season. He really enjoyed it. Proud of him for doing pretty good with minimum experience. So, and then I came home and he lost his 2 bottom teeth, his first 2 teeth. And he hit my wife up saying, "Am I gonna get $100?" So
what?
Yeah, he asked her, so I'm gonna get $100 now. It's like
Teeth $100 now?
It's inflation, brother. It's inflation, man.
Man, everything's going up.
So yeah, shout
Everything's
him
going
out.
up.
That's they round out my shout outs.
$100. Cam, are you ready to lose some teeth for $100? They paying out $100 in the major household on teeth. $50 a teeth, a tooth.
No, that's what we want, but that's not what he's gonna get.
I don't care what inflation is. I don't need that money.
No.
What are we doing on shout outs? Well, before we get to shout outs on the rest of the shout outs, do you have any thoughts? Jesse seems to think that regardless of when Deshaun gets back, they might go 2-9 in the first 11 games.
No, the first 11 games he comes back.
Oh, that he comes back, they may go 2-9.
Yeah, because when he come back, it's the schedule, man.
It's a hell of a schedule.
Yeah, it's the schedule. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah.
Starting in week 5, his next is starting with week 5. The first games he'll play on a 4-game suspension are Chargers, Patriots, Ravens, Bengals, Dolphins, Bills, Bucks, Texans, Bengals, Ravens, Saints.
Yes, that's not an easy stretch.
That is not an easy stretch. On the flip side of that schedule, though, on the flip side of that, me and Chad talked about this. If you think that Deshaun is the answer to what you do, you bring him in. If he was with the 49ers right now, I'd be saying Super Bowl. So I will say with the defense that they had last year and all the mistakes that Baker Mayfield had, all of those teams we just named could easily be wins too. So we just got to see how Deshaun looks coming off of not playing for almost 2 years. That we have to look at that at that point. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if they turn around and win most of those games either. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I'll just say this: they didn't pay him $200 million for what he They paid him $200 million to be what he used to be. So I don't know. It's a hell of a gamble on Cleveland's Cleveland's point, and you gamble that high, you better be right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't feel like you're playing with cards you can see. It feels more like you're just holding two dice and hoping that it lands on 7 or 11. So I don't know.
That's how Daryl Morey runs a franchise.
That is Daryl Morey 101. Okay, now we're back to shout out. So who you shouting out? Cameroon?
Shout out to Jenny Buss for standing up and saying LeBron and
I agree.
sports. Yeah,
I
y'all don't
agree.
run this. This is
I
mine.
agree. 100%.
So I thought that was a big move. Very big.
I agree 100%.
Very big.
Bill Jackson, go lay down. You're not feeling well.
Yeah, stop.
Clearly, you're not feeling well.
If you and Jenny Buss want to get back together, this is not the way to do it.
Yeah, just tell her that. Just say,
Yeah.
right. Just say, give her a book and propose or whatever, but stop talking basketball.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out. Also, I just want y'all to know today was my best friend's birthday, the one that passed about 3 years ago, whatever. So it's been somewhat of a struggle today, but it's all good. Today was a
Feel you, brother.
good day. My last shout out, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to leave it alone after this because once you get there, you there. Welcome to superstar status, Jason Tatum. Like you there. I don't care if you win the finals, you go to the finals or not. You showed me, you showed the world that you could carry a whole team and be on your shoulders, straight up.
He's in the conversation.
Yeah, you're talking about Giannis and you're talking about KD.
Yeah. Listen. You took down two giants, so I got to give you some credit. Some credit.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Mr. Wright.
Shout out Jason Tatum. 6 turnovers in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Of all by yourself, of which the Heat had 10 points off his 6 turnovers. Difference of the game. Rest of the team had 2. The rest of the game. So, learn from your mistakes. You're younger than 25. If every 25-year-old had the opportunity to learn at the stage you have to learn on,
Yeah.
they're going to be very successful in life. So, if I know one thing or believe one thing about the Celtics now that I didn't in December of this season, is that they know how to respond to adversity.
Yeah.
And when they get punched in the mouth, they figure it out. And I've seen it time and time again, and it took me a lot longer than it took other people, including Cam, to come around, right, on what they were capable of doing. And so I believe they're going to win this series, and I believe it's going to feel mostly Celtics dominated. Except for that absolute anomaly, 2 points, not scoring till after 7 minutes in the quarter, 6 turnovers by Tatum in one quarter. Like, I just think the Celtics are going to do great, and I'm glad Tatum got it out of his system now. So in the finals, it won't happen against Golden State.
Well played, sir. Well played. I want to give a shout out to Jason Tatum just because it feels right. Like that's where we are right now. I don't know. But I'm gonna say something that I don't think nobody on this panel was prepared.
Ha!
Oh, no. Well,
Thank God.
Well, that was weird.
I hope he wasn't about to talk about the Giants.
It's gonna come back. It's crazy.
Cam, when you go up to Oklahoma?
We're not going now.
What's going on?
I thought that was just my phone. I mean, just my stuff. So I see it's not.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesse, I want you to back up a little bit off of Jason Tatum, just a little bit. 'Cause in the NBA Finals, in Game 7, when the Lakers beat the Celtics in 2010,
10.
Kobe Bryant had 23 points.
So this is why you can never compliment a Celtic. And that's my fault. This is my fault for reaching too far. I went too far. You can't be complimenting Celtics like that. You get you in trouble every single time. So with that being said, I'm gonna give a shout out to somebody else other than the Celtics. I'm gonna give a shout out to Luka Doncic.
See, can't do that even.
No, I can give a shout out to Luka Doncic.
No, your computer said no.
Right. Computer, he didn't know. One thing that you can safely say about Luka right now, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. At some point, it's all gonna come together. He's gonna snatch that thing.
Lord, is Luka a better player than Jason Tatum?
Woo.
Because you're talking about the complete player, and I had this argument over at John's party. Tatum plays both ways, and for me, that puts Tatum over Luka.
Well, that's agree.
I think it's easier than that. Is Luka better than Giannis?
No.
Is Milwaukee a better team than Dallas?
Yes. When
The
healthy,
answer is
yes.
The
Yes.
answer is yes. Fully healthy, right? Middleton,
Yes.
right? The
Yes.
whole 9 yards, right? The answer is yes.
Yes.
So if the superstar is better and the team is better, Giannis has won. He's halfway through his career. They're not easy to get. And you're always going to be going up against the Lakers and the Celtics and, the teams that are going to be spending that money. And I don't know. I mean, to say, Dirk, as great as he was and as good as some of those teams were, got one.
I'm not saying Luka's going to get a ton. I'm saying
I'm saying I hope he gets one too. But they got to do more than what Milwaukee's done around Giannis.
But here's what I'm trying to. I understand.
They got to do more.
I understand everything you're saying.
They don't have one player on their team that's better than Chris Middleton.
Jesse, listen. None of that matters.
Whoa.
Hold on. Before you say any of that, none of that matters in 2011. Dallas Mavericks rolled out a bunch of old guys and said, let's see if we can get this done. Against 3 Hall of Famers.
They made it up. They should have won in 06. Being up 2 games and being up, 25 in the third quarter of game 3 and losing game 3 in 06.
Right.
And then losing the series. So
you're literally making my point for me. My point simply is everything has to fall right for you to win. But if there's any wiggle room for it to be wrong, Luka's the kind of guy, much like Dirk, that can take advantage of it. And history has proven at some point all the stars align for really great players, which Luka is. And I think at some point he's going to get it.
Carmelo.
Well, he got there.
Stockton.
Listen, real talk, he got there. Now they didn't win it.
Charles Barkley.
But he got there. They got there. Did they not get there?
Chris Paul.
See, you want to be inflammatory. This bottom row down here tonight.
I just want to say great players.
This bottom row tonight has chosen violence all night long. Violence.
Hey, Lord, it's not violence when we don't just agree with you. That don't make it violent.
It's violence because you don't want to see the other side.
We do see the other side.
Nah,
you just still don't agree with it.
You don't want to see it.
Okay, Lloyd. So which one of the next 10 years do you not want the Lakers to win a championship?
Whoa, slow down, player. I didn't say I had.
Okay, but you give him one of them to Luka.
Why are we talking silly now?
No, because you give him one of them to Luka.
Oh man.
Well,
Jesse, that is not what he's doing, Jesse. See, you don't get the picture of what he's saying.
That's all I'm saying.
Luka will be a Laker, Jesse. He will get one.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, dang.
I was about to have internet
Thank you,
issues
brother.
too,
Thank
Cam.
you, brother. I didn't know if anybody was gonna catch where I was going. He's gonna make a fine
I didn't
Laker.
know what Cam was about to say.
He's gonna make a fine Laker.
I'm about
We're
to have
excited to
surprise.
have him.
That's all I'm saying.
Dang, Ray. That's messed up, Ray.
What do you say? Everybody's choosing violence tonight. Like
Man.
it's just
Me and Ray been on the same wavelength all the time, and he won't switch up.
well, because you came in here draped in a Golden State blanket,
Draped up and dripped out.
What do you want him to do? You forced his hand.
Dan, have you ever been to a Golden State game in Golden State in San Francisco?
No, I have not.
Okay.
You got to put that on your bucket list.
No.
I am.
You got to make that happen.
Oh yeah, I will.
If they, yeah.
Yeah, you got to make
Listen.
that happen.
Listen, we went to the game 3 of Cleveland and Golden State, and I'm telling you what, man, I'm the biggest LeBron supporter, but God, KD scored him for like 46.
Plus, Oracle was different. Oracle was just different. We
was in Cleveland.
Oh, y'all were in Cleveland when he was here. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, I remember that game. Yeah, I remember that game. That was crazy.
Woo.
Yeah.
All right. Final comment from the guy with his hand up. It wouldn't. I thought we'd get through at least one night without it, but no.
Hey, they got good barbecue in Cleveland.
You mentioned that. You did mention that.
Listen, Golden State's up 11. Luka's got 17 points.
Yeah.
And Curry, Thompson, and Green combined have 18 points. Luka is scoring as many points as Curry, Thompson, and Draymond Green, and Golden State is still up 11. Cam said this in the Milwaukee series. Giannis can't score half their points, and they expect to win. Right? And that's what they're relying on Luka for right now, and it's just a bad recipe. Dallas will have a chance in the series. Yeah, Dallas will be lucky if they get more than 2 home games.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't listen. I don't know if I disagree. It's gonna be hard, man.
Sweep, ain't it? That sounds like a gentleman's sweep to me.
Yeah, the recipe's not good for them.
Or a straight up sweep.
Could be a straight up sweep. I don't think it will be, but
why? Because you want to give every team one game?
I don't care about that at all.
The NBA.
I mean, at this pace, Luka puts up 40 tonight, and they lose by 20.
Yeah, it feels like it.
And Thompson doesn't score a point.
Sounds like a trade for Klay Thompson to me, because you got to go with the younger Jordan Poole for the future.
Listen, this has been a great show tonight. Why everybody trying to trade Klay Thompson off? I don't know who wants to trade him more. You or Reggie?
Yeah, Reggie been saying that for like 2 years.
Hey, he would make a fine Laker now. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yes, I'm not trying to write him out.
Fine
We'll trade AD for Klay Thompson straight up right now.
We would do that. We absolutely would do that.
It's like having Wiseman. You're not on the floor.
You're not gonna be able to pay Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
Woo! When there's a will, there's a way.
Raekwon, thank you for whatever it is you gave, because it looked like you gave something over here in the chat. I can't see it. My wife, I don't know where she's at tonight. But she normally would thank you, but I'm thanking you on my behalf.
Appreciate it, bro.
Appreciate you, man. With that being said, man, woo.
Hey, you should trade AD for Jordan Poole. Make it easy on Golden State.
I'd rather have Klay.
Worried about that man's health.
Would you?
Yeah, mama named him Klay. I'm gonna call him Klay.
Yeah, I'd rather have Klay.
I'd rather-
Nothing against Jordan Poole. Nothing against Jordan Poole.
Listen, if I go in the store, I'm looking for a Klay. I'm not looking for a Poole. All right, y'all. We out here. See?
I will get you 10.
history. Let's make history.